Welcome to the Boston Barrister, Kevin Patrick Seaver, bringing you insights about your family and the world.
Welcome to the Boston Barrister. My name is Kevin Patrick Seaver. I'm a Boston attorney located in Boston, Massachusetts, specializing in family law. That includes divorce, alimony, child custody, child support, contempt, modifications, prenups, postnups, and everything that has to do with the probate and family court. I also do false allegations of child abuse by the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, where we get DCF in your life and out of your life once and for all, and allowing parents to go back to being freedom and experience richly deserved happiness. This week's episode, we're going to talk about grandparents. I don't know about you, my grandmother was unbelievable. She came over from Ireland at the age of 14, literally with a bag on her shoulders. And it was during the Depression. And I said, Grammy, how did you get a job? Furthermore, the sign said Irish need not apply. She says, I didn't read the signs, and I knew that I could do what others were unwilling to do. And she had multiple jobs. Once told me that she worked a half a day. I said, you seem happy. She says, yeah. I said, why is that? She says, well, I wasn't working 16 or 18 hours or even more. I said, what do you mean by a half a day? She says, 12 hours. That was a good day for her. Hello? So when I hear people complain about, oh, I'm tired or I don't want to work, I just shake my head. She raised children, scrubbed floors, washed floors, made beds, washed clothes, made meals, everything and anything that someone else didn't want to do, including scrub the toilets and everything in between. The lesson there to be learned. You got to have grit. She had grit and then some. Back to grandmothers. Recently I had a case where, unfortunately, a mother died of tragic cancer. Really sad. She left behind some tinies. And the grandmother called me and says, the father we don't get along with very well. And I want to see the beautiful grandchildren, who she took care of, changed their diapers, helped the mother. Well, dad was working all the time. She was a very valuable asset. But the father didn't look upon it that way. They had disagreements. Things happen between families, don't they? Unfortunately. Grandmother says to me, Kevin, what can I do? How can I get to see my grandchildren? Well, there is something called grandparents' rights in Massachusetts, but they don't supersede parents. So you have to prove a few things, and it's always in what's called best interest of the child, or children in this case. State law allows people who have become divorced or the parents have died to petition a probate and family court for visitation with their grandchildren. The judge in a probate and family court must weigh whether or not the visitation by the grandparents or grandparent would be in the child's, again, best interest. It's not so easy, though, because the judge is going to have to look at the nature of the relationship with the grandparents and the grandchild, potential benefits and the detriments of the grandparents visiting with their grandchild. The reason the parent or parents feel it's not in the grandchild's best interest to visit with the grandparents. Now, there may be some reasons why the grandchild should not visit with the grandparent. It might be very legitimate. But my humble opinion is that you can never, ever have enough people love you, and especially a grandparent. And I'm biased. I'll be the first to admit it. My grandmother was just awesome. I miss her terribly and have for many years. She was so special. She knew how to nurture you. When I walk in the door, there was always, and I don't know how she did it, this was back before microwaves, there was always a baked potato and boiled onions, which I grew to love, and carrots or some other vegetable and a piece of meat. And it always just tasted like she had been cooking for days. I don't know how she did it, but it was delicious every time. And she loved to drink tea. And to this day, as I sit here and I speak to you, I've got a delicious cup of Barry's tea. And she put me on that road to delicious tea. I know a lot of people like coffee, and good for you. My drink is my cup of tea, and there's not a day I don't go by when I have a cup of tea I don't think of her. She was special. And I think before a parent comes to the conclusion that the interest of the child is not served well by a grandparent, how contraire. Think again, because grandparents, they are special. Now, I want to say to all of you out there, let's get along. Why can't we get along? Why are we throwing rocks at each other all the time? It makes no sense to me. And we all live in glass houses. every one of us. The United States Constitution reads, "We the people." Don't ever forget that.